Who are the greatest players in Green Bay Packers history? The top 10 to be specific. Today we find that out. There were a lot of honorable mentions for this video, given the Packers are a historic franchise, a lot of legends stretching across several decades. If we're talking most impactful Packers of all time, certainly a couple players got left off this list who were players slash GMs. Mostly, I'm talking about Vince Lombardi and Curly Lambeau. Um, but yeah, several other honorable mentions. We look at the likes of Paul Krause, Jim Taylor, Sterling Sharp, Leroy Butler, Henry Jordan. I mean, the list goes on and on for Packers legends. Arnie Herber. What it came down to me was who are the best players on the teams that contributed to most success. So for that reason, there are a lot of players from the '60s on this list, or who are the best players of all time in specific positions. Um, of all time, I think two of them kind of come to mind for the Packers. But we'll start off at number 10 with Willie Davis, five-time first-team All-Pro selection. Um, and, this man finished his career with 99 and a half sacks, extremely versatile on the defensive line, could play defensive end, defensive tackle in a 4-3 and 3-4 scheme. Um, really set the edge for the Packers alongside Henry Jordan and was a dominant force for over a decade. At number 9, we're going to go with Bart Starr. There's an argument to be made that as far as being a great all-time Packer, he's higher on this list, and I can very well see people putting him higher on this list. He's one of the best deep ball passers in the history of the NFL. Very aggressive. He was the leader and captain of that Packers offense, just extremely efficient and extremely consistent for over a decade. Main reason why the Packers made so many Super Bowls and so many NFL championships and won them. But in all good conscience, I can't put him higher than number 9, given the players ahead of him are all-time greats at their position, specifically top 10 players at their position. Those going to be at number 8, going to be Willie Wood, 8-time Pro Bowl, 4-time first-team All-Pro selection, finished his career with 48 interceptions, um, 6-time overall All-Pro selection. Willie Wood was one of the best at just baiting quarterbacks into bad plays and just hiding in disguise in zone coverage where no one could see him, and then just really making sure the quarterback made a lot of fatal mistakes. Willie Wood comes in at number 8. At number 7, we're going to go with his partner in crime in the defensive backfield. That would be none other than cornerback slash safety Herb Adderley. A little better, slightly. It's very close between Willie Wood and Herb Adderley. What it came down to was Adderley's a more versatile player. I think he was a little more valuable to the team. There's an argument to be made he could have won Defensive Player at least once in his career. Better ball hawker as far as just ball tracking skills. Better tackler, just slightly better in every aspect than Willie Wood. To me, Herb Adderley comes in at number 7. At number 6, we're going to go with Jerry Kramer. If I'm not mistaken, 7-time first-team All-Pro, one of the best guards in the 1960s, one of the best guards of all time, and a key cog on a dominant Packers offensive line that helped them to win the back-to-back Super Bowls in 1966 and 1967. At number 5, we're going to go with Reggie White. It's hard to put him higher than Jerry Kramer, given the fact that he didn't play his entire career with the Packers and only won one Super Bowl. But there's an argument to be made. I mean, he's one of the best, if not the best, defensive players of all time. There's an argument to be made. He could have won up to 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards with the Packers, got snubbed several times over. But Reggie White comes in at number 5 on this list. At number 4, we're going to go with one of the greatest tackles of all time, 8-time first-team All-Pro selection, Forrest Gregg, right tackle. The guy who also coached Anthony Munoz to be one of the greatest blindside tackles of all time, Forrest Gregg, extremely strong, extremely good at just anchoring that right side of the offensive line. Was big reason why Bart Starr has had as much protection as he did to be able to throw deep and have the time he could to read the field. Forrest Gregg comes in at number 4. At number 3, it's going to be Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Very careless with the ball, turned over the ball a lot, but 3 MVPs and a Super Bowl win and back-to-back Super Bowl appearances speaks for itself. He finished his career all-time leading passer in the league. Obviously, Peyton Manning and then several others broke that down the line. But Brett Favre is certainly one of the greatest players in NFL history. And at that, playing 17 seasons with the Packers, one of the greatest Packers of all time. At number two, however, we're going to go with Don Hutson. There's an argument to be made as far as wide receiver. He was far ahead of his time. We're talking about a guy who revolutionized the forward pass at a time where you can pretty much just kill a receiver on the field with no repercussions, no flags of any kind. He was constantly dominating everybody in his pack. I don't want to hear the whole idea of he played at a plumber's era. I think if he played in today's era with better coaching, better nutrition, better training overall, he would have been as dominant. Maybe he wouldn't have been Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, or whatever, but he would have certainly been one of the greatest receivers of all time, much like he is. Helped the Packers to win 3 NFL championships, or maybe 4, actually. I don't remember, to be honest. But certainly the most dominant receiver and probably the first major superstar as far as receivers go in NFL history. He comes in at number 2, one of the most consistent as far as catching the ball and being a red zone threat. Number 1, however, is going to be definitely Aaron Rodgers. In spite of the fact that he's only won 1 Super Bowl ring, he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in NFL history. A 4-time MVP speaks for itself. I think he's kept the Packers more relevant than anyone should expect from this Packers team over the last decade, with some of the poor coaching and some poor managerial decisions that they made. But Aaron Rodgers, one of the most accurate passers of the ball ever, had one of the most beautiful throws ever. As far as he's a better Brett Favre, with more efficiency and less turnovers to go with that. So to me, this is a weird list, but I still think that with the accolades Aaron Rodgers has achieved, just his overall play, Aaron Rodgers deserves to be the number 1 Green Bay Packer of all time.